Hello Internet, today we're going to be looking at post-game weapon farming, and the reason why you want to do this is because you want to have the best damage possible or the best effects possible depending on what kind of build you're running. So we're over here on the weapon modification charts, and you'll actually notice that the Tachyon drops from the highest level super boss in the game, and I will be showing the location soon enough. And the good thing about the Tachyon chips, or Tachyon chips, however you want to pronounce it, is that it is going to restore the original design or look like an upgraded version of the original design. So for those of you guys that love Percival's original weapon, which I totally do, then you're going to get that. It's really cool. And the thing about this particular weapon is that it increases auto attack damage and critical rate damage, and depending on the weapon class, it also might increase the block rate. However, more of the emphasis is going to be on auto attacks, which is fine. If you want higher auto attack damage, then this is going to be the chip for you. However, if you want to have more of an emphasis on critical rates, say you're using Crit Mithra or Crit Poppy, then you're going to want to get the Moon Matter chip, since that has more of an emphasis on critical rates. And that one is going to drop from Cloud C Ken, who we're also going to be showing in this video. As well, the Dilation chip, this one over here, you're guaranteed to get 10. And you can get these from killing the Artifice Ophion over by the Cliffs of Moritha. And yeah, there's about 10. You have to open up a bulkhead in the World Tree. And then once you open that up, then you'll get 10 of these. These are the best if you want to have block on your characters. So if you're using a shield hammer or if you're using Poppy Alpha, then these are the ones you definitely want to look for. However, Moon Matter, these are overall probably better for people that are using dodge tanks or the Tachyon chips, depending on what you prefer. If you would rather have higher auto attack damage, then get Tachyon, but then if you want more critical rates, then you want Moon Matter. So that's how you want to do it. If you don't have the Dilation chips yet, because remember, like, Artifice Ophion is actually quite challenging, so you may want to also consider substituting it for the Shining Star chip, which you'll get from Pernicious Benf. So, the actual method for doing this, in my mind, Tor is the best for doing the farming, and the reason why is because the main method that we're going to be using is to be constantly using driver art. So the driver art is going to be initiating a break. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to use Poppy QT Pie to initiate the break, and she's the best for this because she has a 3-hit attack. Each of these 3 hits has a chance to break, and then Rex is going to follow that up with a topple, and then I'm going to follow that up with Poppy QT Pie's launch, then switch over to QT for the smash. The more we do this, the more items they have a chance of dropping. In fact, right now, I'm actually capped out on rare blade cores just because like it's dropped so many times for us. Now, in terms of equipment, you want to go for your accessories to be mostly luck, except for Tora. Tora, you want to have the beta scope. It's very common in terms of rarity, but the thing is though is that you want to get as much break resist reduction as you can so that you can initiate the blade combos in the first place. It would also help if you max out your affinity charts, which shouldn't be a problem since you're going to be fighting these guys often. We're not going to be killing the enemies though, we're just going to be shaking them down. As well, you want to have anything that boosts your luck by a percentage value. The same thing's going to happen for Nia and Rex. You want to have them to also have this. Actually, you can have like any character that you want, but it would be nice to have a healer. But the thing is though, because we're using Poppy QT Pie, she is a crit healer, so we should have some pretty decent sustain overall. The one other thing I want to look at is going to be Poppy Swap. So the skills we're going to be using is mainly just Critical Restore, but we want to have Telepathy 5 and Treasure Sensor 5. And the same thing's going to happen with Poppy QT because she's going to be doing the smashing, so it would be nice to give her the Treasure Sensor. So that's what we're going to be doing here. But that should basically do it for the builds. The other thing I want to recommend as well that you guys can feel free to do is to have Adenine on your team in any capacity, because Adenine already has a field skill that increases the drop rate. Not to mention that if you get the gold chip, which you'll find by the giant level 64 sea serpents in Temperantia, you'll be able to have the enemy drop rate increased by 50%. And I actually have that on not just Adenine, but also on Azami. And yeah, feel free to do that as well if you want to have it on all the characters, because remember, we're not looking for damage, we're looking for drop rate here. So, to begin, we're going to be looking at Ice Cube Man, and this is going to be the highest level super boss in the game. You'll find in Temperantia, go over to the Central Plane, head over to the Ardanian garrison, and then walk through to this tunnel over here. And then you have to do 2 blade checks, essentially. You're going to need a lot of fire mastery and a lot of focus, but thankfully fire mastery is fairly easy to come by, and focus comes with the blade cores that you'll find in the main story, so that's going to be very useful. And we're going to go ahead and give it a whirl. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up this named tombstone. Again, we're just going to initiate. We're not going for damage, but the thing is, though, is that I have this character equipped with a lot of crit heals, so I don't have to worry so much about the sustain. And I would love it if I could build up. We got really lucky. Usually we don't get the breaks this quickly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for him to get back up, and then I'm going to initiate another break. Remember, it's 3 hits that we're going to be getting, so it's a much higher chance compared to most of the other ones. He's going to do a twin barrel autocannon, which is going to be fine. As long as my arts are available, I should be able to heal it all back with my crit heals. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start canceling some more. The thing is, there is a bit of weird AI behavior patterns that you'll also have to take into account here. But thankfully, like, it should be that he should follow it up immediately. There we go. And we get the launch, switch over to QT, and then go do your smash. Now, we have to start buying some time. And, yeah, okay, we got ourselves some good stuff. We got ourselves an accessory, which you can sell, and a rare core crystal. I actually didn't need to go for the rare core crystal here because I'm already capped out at 99. But this is also a very good method for getting your legendary cores, which is going to be coming in handy because there's a lot of blades that I'm still missing right now, a lot of unique blades. Now, the other annoying AI thing here is the fact that if any of the characters are behind this particular enemy, Tyranititan Kuradil, if anyone's behind him, he's going to do the Bone Crusher attack, and it sucks because that's going to be an instant kill most of the time. And the only way to avoid that is that since we're playing as the tank, we have a little bit of leeway, but there will be times where he just refuses to turn around, and when that happens, though, it's very easy to build a meter. I mean, you guys are going to be here for the long haul properly, even with all these upgrades that we have. Like, yeah, like, we're going to be getting mainly just rare accessories, the occasional legendary core. And again, as you can see, a Rex is going to move behind, so what you want to do is just move over to your next ally, and, yeah, see, that's going to be a death for a Rex. That's fine. It's pretty easy to build a meter, like I said earlier. Why are you all the way up there? And help him up. And I'm going to avoid that core just because, again, it's completely capped out and I don't need to bother about it. Switching to Poppy Alpha can be very useful during the twin barrel autocannon. As far as super bosses go, this is actually one of the easier ones, despite the fact that he has the highest level. The reason being is that he doesn't actually have very many insta-kill abilities aside from the Bone Smasher. Like, I've heard that there's a lot of people that have used the Crit Mithra heal build. Oh, here we go, here's a Tachyon. Awesome. And see, that was relatively fast. I remember I did this without any, like, luck increases, and it took me quite a while just to get the one. If you want, you can choose to just end the battle right here, because as the battle progresses, he's going to get more and more attacks. He's going to go into the enraged state. So you may want to consider just stopping the battle if you want, so just hold R and then press B to sheath your weapons and then run away. But I'm going to go ahead and go for one more break if I can. And later on in this video, we're actually going to be fighting against Cloud Deep Sea King Ken. Sorry, I can't even remember that guy's name. It's very weird remembering the names of the super bosses. Their names are so long. But, yeah, please break. Okay, I guess we're not going to get the break. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut the video, and we're going to meet you guys over at Tentel. Alright, so here we are over at Tentel, and we're at the Central Ether Boulder. Now, this is where Cloud Sea Ken is going to be located, and I'm quickly just running over to this particular part of the map just so I can show you where to respawn him. The current weather is cloudy, and this is the weather that you're going to need, so if this doesn't happen, then go rest at an inn, wait for a long time, wait for the weather to change, and then he will appear. You can't miss him, he's the giant squid. Like an even bigger version of the squid that you'll be beating here. And he is going to be actually a fairly easy fight. Again, this build that we're using, it's very self-sustainable. Even without, you know, optimized accessories, we can still survive fairly easily. So that's going to be the tombstone location. I'll just quickly show on the map where we are right now, in case you're wondering where we are. And yeah, this is on the lower level of Tantal. So over here, this is the central ether boulder where the fight would take place. It's a little bit to the southwest, like slightly to the southwest. So yeah, this is where we're going to respawn them. And this is where the moon matter chips are going to be farmed. The moon matter chips, like I've said before, they're highly recommended for characters that have more of an emphasis on critical hits. So this would definitely be a good benefit for Mithra. As well, it would be a nice, let's see, like yeah, Poppy QT Pie, the build that, at least the build that I use her for, is also going to be good. And again, like we're using this healing build, so we're just making ourselves stronger essentially. Also, I want to talk about the Sunlight chip. The Sunlight chip's also pretty good, just because with that particular build, or sorry, with that particular weapon, it's actually kind of a sort of a middle ground. But the thing is, again, if you want to specialize, then I would recommend not using Sunlight chips as your end game focus. But if you want, then you totally can. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use Rigid Shield. This guy does a large amount of damage, but again, it's easy to heal back. And since we have all the Poppy forms, it shouldn't be that difficult to get it all back. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the launch. It's actually really funny, because most of the time when you're fighting him, you can't even see him. And yeah, like my recommendation for people that want to get the Tachyon chips, it's mainly for people that just want to have higher damage, or they just like the designs better. Like if you don't really care about critical hit rates, then you don't have to bother with that. But if not, then it should be okay. By the way, so with the eye patch that we're using right now, or sorry, the high tech scope that we're using to increase the chance of scoring a break, it's actually a lot easier to get on this particular boss. It's just with a Tyranno Titan where he's difficult, because with a Tyranno Titan, he has like insane break resist. It actually took me a while until I just got frustrated, decided, you know what, we're just gonna make it mandatory that we're just gonna have a bunch of these equips. So like there's gonna be Telepathy 5. I wanted to get Telepathy 5 for the other characters as well, but the thing is though is that I'm still having trouble finding the materials. Also, this guy's dying pretty quickly, all things considered, just because like the smash damage is quite heavy. And again, we have to wait for Rex to do the topple. Perfect. One of the other things too, I just want to mention that Rex has the crit Mithra build at the moment, meaning that it'll be a lot faster for him to build up his arts. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you guys don't already have that, then I would highly recommend it, since it just makes the post game that much easier. And yeah, we're gonna see if we can try to get ourselves a Moon Matter. I'm not gonna end the video until we do, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, trust me guys, it works, and then you guys are gonna spend even longer amount of time. But yeah, there's also the enemies on, what's it called? There's also the enemies in Temperantia, the giant sea serpents. I believe like the level 64, level 67, and they have it. Oh yes, here we go, the Moon Matter. Awesome. But yeah, this is also like a very, very good way of getting your legendary cores if you want to collect your blades. Of course, this is all post-game stuff, but that's kind of the funny thing I've noticed about this game, is that once you reach level 99, then it really just does become about the builds that you have. It's actually insanely easy to reach level 99 in this game. Like, I was making the Mithra build, and I was like level 91 when I started making that build, and I did the fight that I featured in that one. That's where you get the Sunlight chips at Arik Mark 7, was it? Over in the World Tree at the top floor. And yeah, like I think it took me like 5 battles to get all the way to 99. It was really, really funny. Not to mention that that's also the fight where he just summons a bunch of guys. But yeah, again, like we're getting also a lot of good auxiliary chips. Crazy money making here, to be honest. I don't think you're actually going to even need salvage to get money here. Of course, salvage will just get you started, but then once you're all set, you have your builds, you'll just gain money passively. I mean, if you want, you can even just sell the rare cores just because you might be tired of seeing that dog all the time. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's weapon farming video, you guys. It takes a couple of tries. Again, if you feel like nothing's dropping, feel free to just unequip and then maybe just let the guy kill you, since they won't retaliate. And yeah, that's going to be it for things. Remember, as much luck as possible, try to get the gold chips for some of your weapons so that you can actually increase your drop chance. As well, having Adenine is a very good idea. As you see your Rex switch to Adenine, that's going to be very helpful for me. but unfortunately no dice on the Moon Matter chip. But yeah, it takes a couple of tries, but like on average you would get like 1 per battle, so you might as well just skip ahead to the beginning of the next battle. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you guys make good use of this build, or sorry, this guide for farming endgame weapons. And as always, I will see you guys at the next Blade Showcase. I hope you guys look forward to it. Take care everyone.